Good morning. I've just finished a long run and I've only got a little bit of battery left, so I'm going to try and be quick with this. If I look dusty and salty, stick with me, it's the sweat. What I wanted to say to you today is about those riots that I've been seeing. Let's call them what they are. They are riots. Stop calling them protests. Stop calling them activists. I'm tired of all the rhetoric that you're coming out with. Call it what it is. Now, in spirituality, regardless of which denomination that you ascribe to, right? They say that if you want to cast out a demon, you need to know the demon's name. You have to call the demon by its name in order to be able to cast it out and tell it to leave, right? And so the issue with Britain is that Britain does not want you to call the demon by its name. The name is white supremacy. Like every other name, we're dancing around it. We're like, oh, they're far right this, they're that. You know, it's unconscious bias. Britain is a tolerant country. What do you mean tolerant? Have you ever sat down to break down the rhetoric that you use as it pertains to Britain? Britain is a tolerant country. What do you tolerate? You tolerate something you don't like. And so we're told all of the time, I don't like you, but I'm tolerating you being here. How is that a positive thing? Britain is a multicultural country. Britain is not a multicultural country. Britain is a multi-ethnic country. You have numerous ethnicities or various ethnicities that live in Britain, but Britain has one culture, one dominant culture, and that's what's being perpetuated right now. And then you've got, members of parliament who are saying things to you like, oh, this isn't the Britain, this doesn't represent Britain, this isn't the Britain I know. How did Britain come to be great? Does everybody need a history lesson? The same violence that you're seeing playing out now is the whole reason that Britain was able to dominate most of the world from that very same depravity. But instead of being educated as to the history and the energy that pervades this island, people don't want to talk about it. Everyone's pretending like they don't know how we got here. You feel like just because you voted in a Labour government, your work is done. Everybody get to work immediately, especially the Liberals. You lot get to work immediately because you're too busy telling us that, oh, hatred won't solve anything and you're disgusted by what you're seeing. If you're so disgusted by what you're seeing, go and tell your granddads, your uncles and your fathers and your brothers to stop the behaviour. That they need to group up and attack people. And then there are the people who want to lie to themselves and be like, oh, this is a problem that's just happening up north. Are you forgetting Stephen Lawrence? Are you forgetting the boy, the other, where was that? The young black boy that was just slain with a sword the other week. And instead of the papers writing about it accurately, they started calling him Sword Boy, as if he was the one that was carrying the sword, and it wasn't the fact that he was attacked by a white racist. Then think about the white racist that went and burned that mother and her 2 daughters, was it, in their home? And police were saying that they didn't know why he would have done such a thing, even though he literally wrote on his page all of this fascist rhetoric. We have to start calling the demon by its name. I'm so tired of hearing all of this stuff about Britain is not a racist country. Britain is not a racist country. Britain built its identity on racism. And if you want to send this to your unwashed, unseasoned souls that you know that will watch this and they'll be like, oh, you black monkey, stop talking, you black monkey. Let me tell you something. Migrants are not the reason that you are in the position that you are in. It's not. You're being lied to. The reason that your life is so discombobulated, the reason that your life is so jaga is because you have a family that believe that they are born to rule over you. That is the issue. You have a family that they believe they're born to rule over you, and they take the majority of your money to have all of their palaces while you're sitting there having to starve and put cheese, 1 piece of cheese in 2 slices of bread. They are telling you to be comfortable with where you are. You've got one leg that's turning purple with varicose veins and you can't see to it because the NHS is underfunded because they're funding this family. That's just one of the reasons. Another reason might be because your country keeps going to invest in wars. Your government keeps going to invest in wars. Instead of feeding you and your children, they're going to invest in wars. That's the problem that you should be facing. That's what you should be worrying about. And because of your dirty, nasty energy, it's why it's never coming home. I told you lot before. The same black men that you want to attack now are the ones that should have scored goals for you so you could so you can win the Euros. God forbid. You will never win a single thing until this behavior is addressed. And so when we're talking about practical things that need to be done, until these riots, these thugs are dealt with, I implore every black player, every black professional, semi-professional player to refuse to play football going forward until something is done about this, because your lives are in danger directly and indirectly, right? And I heard that Keir Starmer is now saying that we're going to have 24-hour courts to deal with the rioters, and good, because you knew how to bring them out for the Tottenham uprising, so you can bring them out for this as well, rightly so. And then going forward, we have to start thinking about community-based initiatives, and any that you know that are already set up. I know that there is like Tottenham Cop Watch or something, various organizations that you know that are set up that are more like community initiatives, so we can watch out for each other. Let's do that, because I need everybody to be safe. I need everybody to look after each other, because they seem to like target people as individuals, especially if you're like visibly Muslim, black, whatever the case may be. And this is why that comment by Liam Neeson a few years back, where he heard that his friend, a female friend, was sexually assaulted, and he'd asked her for some reason what the race of the man was, and she said black, and he said that he walked through the streets, one kind of street in Ireland, and he was looking for any black man to beat up. And I said that was a problem back then, but a black man, John Barnes, said, oh no, he commends Liam Neeson for his honesty. Black men, let black people across the board, let's start behaving. Young black boys that you lot are out there trying to do shanky with your swords, now you're seeing that the enemy is not each other. I'm not saying you should go and use those things for other people, absolutely not, but I'm asking you to realize that your lives are already in danger outside of yourselves. So the last thing you should be doing is turning in on yourselves, quite literally and figuratively. We all need to start getting our brains in gear. We all need to start understanding this is the country that we're living in. Some of you really wanted to get gassed when it was the Euros, and you're like, oh, you know, I can't lie, I feel slightly proud to be English. Look at you. Because this is what we were telling you was under the surface the whole time. Wake up. It's sad for you to realize that the country that maybe you were born in, that you spent most of your lives